Hi everyone, and welcome to our webinar series spotlighting alumni from the Turner Family Center. My name is Maria Sheldon, and I am a current MPH candidate at Vanderbilt, as well as a member on the Brand and Marketing Committee at the TFC. So our goal with this webinar series is to see what the alumni from the TFC are doing today in social enterprise. Today we're going to be speaking with Emily Sheldon. Emily is a graduate at the Vanderbilt Institute of Global Health and is currently the co-founder and CEO of the African Health Innovation Center based out of Ghana. Emily, you are so awesome. Your story is incredible. We are excited for you to share it with us. Welcome. How are you doing?
Well, thanks so much. I'm really excited to have this conversation. I love talking about my time at Vanderbilt because I really think it helped shape me into the professional I am today and helped definitely shape my career path. I came into Vanderbilt with kind of a unique background. I'd worked in a mixture of business and NGOs. I was really interested in social impact, and I knew that I wanted to create that impact for me personally in public health, primarily focused on sub-Saharan Africa. And so I came to do my Master of Public Health at the Vanderbilt University School of Medicine and to work with the Vanderbilt Institute for Global Health. And while I found that to be an incredibly inspiring experience, I learned so much that I use every single day. I always knew that those core business elements were essential to the way that I wanted to influence public health. And so I started by looking to the business school over at Owen, the School of Management, to see whether there were ways that I could extract some of that information and tie it into my MPH program. So at the time, the TFC didn't exist. We were just getting started, and I was lucky enough to join and be part of the original launch team. So a previous group of students had really founded the program. They'd found the funding. They'd put together the basic idea. But I had the opportunity to join the student programming board, the advisory board, and work on my thesis in collaboration with the Turner Family for Social Ventures, really helping get things started. That definitely influenced how I think about public health and how I do the work that I do today. Immediately following graduation, I actually moved to Ghana, which is where I've been based for the past 4.5 years in West Africa. And I've had the opportunity to tie innovation and entrepreneurship into public health through the work I was doing previously with Impact Hub Accra and now with the African Health Innovation Center.
I love that you're at the intersection of business and public health and how they can, merge together and improve public health in general. Now, can you tell us more about what the African Health Innovation Center is?
The African Health Innovation Center is Ghana's first organization that's exclusively dedicated to leveraging innovation and entrepreneurship to improve health outcomes. About 50% of what we do is working directly in the startup space. We work on 3 different incubators, one with the Liverpool School of Tropical Medicine, one with UNICEF Ghana, and one with the Impact Hub Network. And then we also work closely with more traditional partners, hospitals, government, NGOs, to leverage human-centered design and other innovation ideas to help them rethink the way that they do their own practice. We've been operating for about 1.5 years as the African Health Innovation Center. We were originally the Health Innovation Program of Impact Hub Accra. Some people might be familiar with the Impact Hub Network. It's one of the largest networks of entrepreneurship hubs in the world. There are over 100 locations. And in Ghana, we were the first to develop a standalone full-time vertical dedicated to health innovation.
That is amazing. And, hearing your story, I have to imagine that you got involved or engaged in some type of class while at Vanderbilt. So I think specifically, kind of relating to TFC, I think about Project Pyramid. So I'm just curious if you were able to participate in Project Pyramid while you were a Vanderbilt student.
So I always warn people, and I'll warn all of you, that when you go travel or even travel virtually for 2 weeks, you might just end up there. I had the honor and the privilege of participating in Project Pyramid my final semester of graduate school. I worked with a team that was helping support a science STEM-focused NGO in Accra, Ghana. I traveled for about 2 weeks, And while I was there wearing my second hat as an advisory and programming board member for the TFC, I met every entrepreneurship organization I could. At night, I was going to start up pitch events. I was going to have informational interviews. And at the end of my time there, I spoke to the team at Impact Hub Accra. And I said, you should really collaborate with Vanderbilt. And they said, yeah, I mean, that's cool. But you know what we really want to do? We want to launch our own health program. Why don't you quit that job you have lined up, sell all of your stuff, and move here to Ghana instead? And I said, that sounds like a great idea. So 2 weeks after I graduated from Vanderbilt, I flew to Accra. I've been there for the past 4.5 years. And Project Pyramid, both the ability to have that opportunity to travel, but also to have exposure and networking opportunities to so many different people, really helped give me the ability to not only line up my future career, but even see that it was an option to blend my content area of interest, which was public health, with this push for innovation, for entrepreneurship, for social impact modes of business thinking. I'm eternally grateful. And we actually had the opportunity while I was at Impact Hub Accra to then host a Project Pyramid team a year later. And I got to kind of pass that torch and have new students come and work with us.
Anytime you tell that story, it makes me smile because you can sense the joy, you can sense your passion, and you can also sense the leap of faith that you took to move to Ghana and to sell everything and to follow this this desire to work in social enterprise, and it's very inspiring. And so, looking back, I'm curious to know how your perspective on social enterprise has changed from when you were in my shoes and other graduate student shoes to where you are now as a CEO and a co-founder of a social enterprise in Ghana.
I think prior to that interaction, when I thought of business, I thought more about when an NGO operates or when a social impact organization operates, they need to have kind of this operational, they need to have finance, they need to have strategy, they need to have communications. But collaborating with the TFC allowed me to see business as a tool for social impact and not just as the backbone of an NGO, if that makes sense. And so it really helped me understand how we could take business models and apply them. Now, fast forward almost 5 years later, even more if you count when I started working with the TFC. And we've incubated dozens of startups. We've worked with researchers that are dipping their toe in the business world for the first time. We worked with business experts that are trying to break into the world of public health. We've worked across continents, we've worked across countries, we've worked across languages. And now, a few years later, I would say I've learned a lot about kind of the do's and don'ts of business. I've seen a lot about, typical things that we see very young, early stage entrepreneurs do that could be done better. And I'm incredibly grateful for opportunities that kind of allow young entrepreneurs the opportunity to learn so that they don't make as many mistakes up front. I know we would have done some things differently even when we were making the TFC if we had some of the retrospect that we have now.
I find it remarkable talking with you and knowing that you had a hand in the beginning days of the TFC. So my last question to you is, what is your hope for the TFC in the future?
First, I'll start by saying I'm incredibly impressed with how it's grown in the past few years already. Looking back now to where we began and what I'm hearing about the opportunities I'm seeing come out of the TFC already, that growth is there, it's happening. And so continue on that pathway. But beyond that, I hope that the TFC continues to kind of bridge this divide, which it's been doing by looking at both domestic issues and global issues. Both are equally important, but sometimes you need different skill sets to address both. So by providing opportunities to interact at both the local and international level, I think that the TFC is doing a really big service to students. I also think that while it's expanded to include more diverse students, one of the great things the TFC does is focus heavily on young professionals. I think that there are great learning opportunities for undergraduates, but I think that the TFC provides a unique entry point for graduate and professional level students who maybe haven't been as excited to like join a club or get involved because they feel like they're past that in their career. The TFC is engaging people professionally, and I think it should continue down that path as well.
Emily, I know I can speak for everyone at Vanderbilt and at the MPH program and at the Turner Family Center when saying that we appreciate you coming on and telling your story today. You are a wealth of knowledge and you continue to inspire me each time we talk. I always come away with more and more nuggets of information. So thank you again for one being a part of the Turner Family Center, especially in its early stages, and two for always being willing to talk with us and give us just great insight. We really appreciate it.